ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊರಕಿದರೆ ಮತ್ತೆಷ್ಟರಾಸೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ದೊರಕಿದರೆ ಮತ್ತೆಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೆಂಬಾಸೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊರಕಿದರೆ ಮತ್ತೆಷ್ಟರಾಸೆ, ಕಷ್ಟ ಬೇಡೆಂಬಾಸೆ ಕಡು ಸುಖವ ಕಾಂಬಾಸೆ, ಕಷ್ಟ ಬೇಡೆಂಬಾಸೆ ಕಡು ಸುಖವ ಕಾಂಬಾಸೆ, ನಷ್ಟ ಜೀವನದಾಸೆ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲ, ನಷ್ಟ ಜೀವನದಾಸೆ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲ, ಭಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಯಿಲ್ಲವಯ್ಯ, ಅನಂತ ಅಪರಾಧ ಎನ್ನೊಳಗೆ ಇರಲಾಗಿ ಭಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಯಿಲ್ಲವಯ್ಯ. ಹೂವ ತರುವರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹುಲ್ಲ ತರುವ, ಹೂವ ತರುವರ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹುಲ್ಲ ತರುವ, ಅವ್ವಲ ಕುಮೀರಮಣ ಇವಗಿಲ್ಲ ಗರುವ, ಹೂವ ತರುವ.
ನಮಃ ಪರಮರ್ಷಿಭ್ಯೋ नमः परमऋषिभ्यः। हरि ओम। यस्यान्तर्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नामगोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो न नपुंसं न च स्त्रीं नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वरिशिष्टान्तेव सदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं। स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै देव्यै नमो नमः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषां धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। कस्मै येन विभासितो यमतुलो ज्ञानप्रदीपः पुराम् तद्रूपेण च नारदाय मुनये कृष्णाय तद्रूपिणाम् योगीन्द्राय तदात्मनाथ भगवद्राताय कारुण्यतः तच्छुद्धं विमलं विशोकम् अमृतं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषभिस्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबद भागवतं रसम् आलयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षदां तमोन्धं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् योगेशा योगविन्यासा योगात्मन् योगसम्भव निःश्रेयसाय मे प्रोक्तः त्यागः सन्न्यासलक्षणः त्यागोऽयं दुष्करो भूमन् कामानां विषयात्मभिः सुतरां त्वयि सर्वात्मन् अभक्तैरिति मे मतिः सोऽहं ममाहमिति मूढमतिर्विगाढः त्वन्मायया विरचितात्मनि सानुबन्धे तत्त्वञ्जसा निगदितं भवता यथाहं संसाधयामि भगवन् अनुशाधिभृत्यं सत्यस्य ते स्वदृश आत्मन आत्मनोऽन्यं वक्तारमीश विबुधेष्वपि नानुचक्षे सर्वे विमोहितधियः तव मायये मे ब्रह्मादयस्तनुभृतो बहिरर्थभावाः तस्माद्भवन्तमनवद्यमनन्तपारं सर्वज्ञमीश्वरम् अकुण्ठविकुण्ठधिष्ण्यं निर्विण्णधीः अहमुहवृजिनाभितप्तो नारायणं नरसकं शरणं प्रपद्ये. We are contemplating on the Upadesha given by Bhagavan Krishna to Uddhava. We already spoke about it as Ananda Samudram. It is Ananda Samudra. That is the name given there. The teacher is Krishna, the listener is Bhagavata. Bhagavataya Bhashitam. And inside that, the great Avadhuta is giving the teaching to King Yadu. And this Brahmavada, this Paramahamsa Jnana, we are going through that. This is for those who are deeply into spiritual life. Those who want only God, only realization, nothing else. For such seekers of liberation, mumukshus, this Ekadasha Skandha is prescribed. Hence it begins with absolute renunciation. Upadesha for renunciation. Then this teaching of Avadhuta, where he says about sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, that he learnt how to endure all the difficulties in life from earth. Titiksha. Then from water, how to be always sweet, cool, shanta. Then from Prithvi, from Vayu, from air, wind, he learnt Nissangata. The prana enters the body, goes through the entire body and comes out, but it is untouched. Like that, the yogi also travels everywhere. Pranavrittyiva santushyed munihi, naivendriya priyahi. Only just to keep the prana alive, he takes food, not for indriya priti. Then jnanam yatha na avakiryeta. Then the jnana will not get affected. Yoga sthiti will not get affected. Otherwise, food is the chief factor which will affect our spiritual life. You eat a little more, the mind will get affected. You eat something negative, the mind will get affected. Ahara shuddhau sattvashuddhihi sattvashuddhau dhruva smritihi. When ahara is pure, sattva guna becomes pure. Sattva guna means what? The power to retain, the power to hold any spiritual experience. Otherwise, even if you get a glimpse of spiritual experience, it will not stay. So when the food is pure, the power to hold any meditative state will be prolonged, duration will be more. So ahara shuddhi is very important. Annamasitam tredha vidhiyate tasya yasthavishto dhatuhu tat purisham bhavati yo madhyamahattan mamsam yo nishtahattan manaha. When the food is taken inside, the gross portion goes out as malap, the fecal matter, and the middle portion becomes the mamsa, the flesh, and the subtlemost portion becomes the mind. So this comes the Chandogya Upanishad. So ahara shuddhi is very important. On one side, the ahara should be sattvika. On the other side, the power to digest also should be very powerful. So that also he sarva bhakshopi. Even if he, whatever he gets bhiksha, because you cannot demand when you get bhiksha. So whatever you get must be digested by the digestive fire. So this also he takes guard of. So the ahara shuddhi is important. Ahara is not simply what is taken through mouth alone. Yes, Shankaracharya says, what you take through the eyes, what you take through the nose, what you take through the ears, everything is ahara. Ahriyate iti aharaha. Shabdadi vishaya vijnanam. Whatever is ahriyate, whatever is taken inside is ahara. So, when through all the senses what you take inside becomes pure, real sattva is purified. How to take everything pure? By knowing that whatever is seen, whatever is heard, whatever is touched, it is all nothing but Narayana. It is all Atma. This knowledge should become ultimately stable. Then only the real ahara shuddhi will happen. So all these things the Avadhuta learned from fire, from wind, ultimately the all-pervasiveness from space. And the body alone grows and decays, not the real self. This knowledge he attained by contemplating on the moon. And the real nature of the self he got by contemplating on the sun, the Surya. So now 7 gurus. Now the Avadhuta is moving about from one place to another. He is moving about. He will see so many people, how people are living in the world, how they are having fight, how they are having conflict, everything is seeing. So one day he was moving in the forest. Suddenly he saw, he is observing everything. Everywhere he is learning. So he saw 2 birds. They were having their nest there. Two pigeons were there. Before that, the yogi says, when you live in the world, you should be very careful about one thing. Nati sneha prasangova kartavya kwapi kenachit. You should not get too much attached to somebody. You should not, in the name of love, too much emotionally involving with someone. Ati sneha. And prasanga means attachment. Too much attachment to anybody. If you do that, kurvan vindeta santapam. If you do that, ultimately you will have santapam, you will have suffering. Kapota iva, like the pigeons. What did he learn from pigeon? Kapotah kashana aranye. In one forest, the Avadhuta says, I saw a kapota and kapoti. A male pigeon and a female pigeon. You can see when you observe the birds, when they make nest, their family life, you can observe. First sometimes they will make nest in house. Even in apartments they will make. First they will come and put a twig and they will observe whether you are disturbing. If you are not disturbing, they will continue to do that job. Otherwise they will go to some other place. So first they will put a twig. Then if you are cooperative, then the male bird and the female bird will make a nest. And there the mother bird will put her eggs. And very beautiful. Both of them mutually will be looking after. You can see this. Sometimes some birds they make very beautiful nests. The weaver bird. In Tamil we call it Thookananguruvi. Very beautifully it will make the nest. We will wonder who taught it to make it so beautifully. So after making that, when the eggs hatch and the little ones come out, the father and mother will be very concerned, looking after the kids, very deeply attached. So the Avadhuta is looking at this. And he is first looking at the couple. Whatever the lady desires, the bird will make it happen. He is saying a bird because he don't want to say a human couple. So people will create trouble. So better say bird. So he is saying that whatever that female bird desires, the male bird will make it happen. He pleased her partner and was agreeably treated by him. So this was continuing, very sweet. And Avadhuta totally looked at it and he was enjoying how happily they are living. They should have a happy life, very peaceful, very happy. That is wonderful. Then the Kapoti became pregnant, then the eggs were laid and the little ones came. Then they were very happily, joyfully living. Then one day the male bird was not there. One hunter came there and spread out his net. And in that net, all the little ones were caught. Seeing them caught in the net, the mother bird also jumped into the net and got caught. Seeing the female bird caught in the net, the male bird also caught into the net. And the hunter, he took the net and put it in his shoulder and looked at the Avadhuta. Seeing him, Avadhuta said, I know who you are. You are the Kala Purusha. So, Kapotakan kapotim cha siddhartha prayayo griham. So much is being done for the family life. See, first of all, one thing you should know, this is the highest teaching. That is why there is a sampradaya regarding Bhagavata. All Bhagavata Saptaha, they will stop by Rukmini Kalyanam. Because very safe. So, but you should know this truth when you live in the world. Ramakrishna says, know the truth and live in the world. You have this inside when you know that it is all not Shashvatam, not permanent. So something happens, you don't get affected. So that knowledge is needed for everyone. So, evam kutumbi ashantatma. Avadhuta says the kutumbi is ashantatma. Because so much of pain, suffering, trouble is there everywhere. Children are small, then also you have problem. They grow up, then also you have problem. They don't get married, then also you have problem. They get married, more problem. They don't get a job, problem. They get a job and go away from you, problem. Recently when Amma told that I was going to every temple so that my son will get a job in America. And now I am going to the same temples so that he will come back. Because he is not coming back, 10 years not coming back. So, whatever you desire, it happens, then also it is a problem. If the desire is not satisfied, then also it's a problem. So Ashantatma, just think about it. This will happen in the world. One has to go through the family life, no question about it. Very few are qualified directly going to the monkhood or that absolute freedom. Brahmachari bhutva grihi bhavet, grihi bhutva vani bhavet, vani bhutva pravrajet. Athava brahmacharyadeva grihadva vanadva. This is the smriti vakyam. From brahmacharya to grihastha ashrama to vanaprastha to sannyasa. Or very rarely. So one has to learn every lesson. So here Bhagavata gives this lesson. And here looking at the birds, see, if a person can learn from another person's life, he is saved. He is free. Recently, one person told, Swami, please tell my daughter that she says, I don't want to get married. So I spoke to her. You know what she said? I never found that my father and mother are peaceful. So I am afraid. So sometimes, when you see something and learn from that is also not possible actually, because you have to go through it in former life. That data will be there inside you. That is why for certain people, tatratam buddhi sanyogam labhade paurvadehikam. Even in younger days, vairagya becomes so intense because the memory of the former births, the memory of this kind of pain, suffering, it is there. Because of that, the power of vairagya becomes so intense. Otherwise, everyone has to learn through their own life. No other way. So, here seeing this kapota, the Avadhuta says, Pushnan kutumbam kripanaha. Kripana means anatmajna. Who is a kripana? He is not an atmajnani. An atmajnani is kripana and brahmana. The Upanishad says, atmajnani alone is a brahmana. And one who does not know the Atma, one's real nature, is a kripana. Etad aksharam aviditva asmat lokat praiti sakripanaha. Without knowing this imperishable self, truth, Atman, he dies from this world. Or whatever he may do, he is a kripana, petty. He is a miserable person. So, evam kutumbi ashantatma. In the kutumbam, when there is no shanti, kutumbam you should have shanti. Bhagavata in Saptama Skanda very elaborately says how a grihastha can have a very peaceful life. That is also told very elaborately. In the householder's life, one should have Bhagavad Bhajana, one should hold to Bhagavan and do Adhyatma Sadhana and should learn the art of living without attachment. There is one figure of, in Tamil they will say Chettiar, business class people there, so very fat figure. The head will be always like this. The grihastha has to learn that art. Whatever may happen around you, just say yes, 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 yes. Anumodeta. He is nisanga, he is not attached. His attachment is only to Bhagavan. If that is possible, in grihastha ashrama the person can have peace. Otherwise, even good grihasthas will have problem. Not simply fighting. Somebody will die, Sometimes you don't have money. Sometimes you have responsibilities to be completed. So many problems are there around. Ramakrishna used to say, it is the whirlpool in Vishalakshi. Used to call it, Vishalakshi is a pond in Ramakrishna's birthplace, I think, Kamarpukur. And used to say there is a whirlpool in it. If you get into it, it is very difficult to come out. So, this Grihastha Ashrama, the householder's life, is certainly very important. Actually, this is the most important ashrama. Sarvashramanam, it is the adhara for every ashrama, because a sannyasi depends on grihastha, a brahmachari depends on grihastha, a vanaprastha also depends on grihastha. Ashramanam hi sarvesham garhastyam shreshtam uchyate. As Manusmriti and even Ramayana it comes there. So grihastha ashrama is very important, because everyone is depending on grihastha ashrama. Without good grihasthas, good sannyasis also will not come. So only in a good grihastha ashrama, good sannyasis can come. Matrutah pitrutah shuddha. Shuddha bhavo ati sattvikaha. That is the lakshana told. So that kind of ashrama is needed, but that ashrama has so much trouble. So the person, ashantatma, it gives you so much ashanti. That is why see in all satsanga, all grihasthas, because I have moved very closely with many sadhus also. In ashramas, generally satsanga happens, sadhus will rarely come, because they do not have that much trouble. So they are peaceful otherwise also, but grihasthas, you know, very often some firework happens. So you need the hold. So it is a very powerful ashrama. Actually, one has to ripen through that ashrama. One has to go through that ashrama, ripen through that ashrama, then vairagya is very, very deep, very powerful. So, Pushnan Kutumbam Kripanaha, his whole attention is on Kutumbam. It naturally we will ask, who will look after my family if I am not looking after? Certainly you have to look after. There is no question about it. But there is a limit. There is a time when the person has to become free. I know a story, an incident actually happening. In a family, there are 4 generations. Great grandfather, grandfather, grandson, his son, like that. The great grandfather will beat grandfather because he still thinks that he is my son, and the grandfather is already 80 years old, and the great grandfather is 102 or 103. So the grandfather is always afraid to go in front of this old man. So always thinking like this, and no limit for that. So this trouble continues. So one should be very careful that we have come to this world with a higher purpose. That we should not forget. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi in Tamil used to say, Vanda Velaya Paru. Be aware of the work for which you came. Don't forget, you have come to this Manushya Loka so that you can attain bhakti, you can attain jnanam, you can attain freedom. This is possible in this Manushya Shariram. Otherwise, you know, you will become a kripana and slowly become weaker, weaker, weaker. No energy, completely weak. So, yaf prapya manusham lokam muktidwaram apavritam. Griheshu khagavat saktaha tam arudhachutam viduhu. He is an arudachyuta. Arudachyuta means if you lie down in the ground, you will not fall. Na shayanaha patatyadaha. Only when you go to certain heights, you will fall. So you go higher and higher, then fall. There is certainly danger. So one who has reached the state of a human birth, that too a good chance to listen to all this in a good family, where he has got so many chance to have satsanga, to see Mahapurushas. With all that, if the person is not utilizing his life to be free, he is an arudachyuta. Yaf prapya manusham lokam, manushya loka, mukti dwaram apavritam. The path to liberation is all open. Doors are all open. You can become liberated. Mukti dwaram apavritam. With all that griheshu, he is like a bird inside the cage. This person is attached to his house. He is an arudachyuta. This griham, you know, griham means grihyate. If you call them for satsanga, they will say, nobody is there in my house, so I cannot come. Or they will say, some people are there, I cannot leave them alone and come. You say something and you are unable to come, this is griham. It will be, Bhagavata sometimes gives very strong knocks. Sometimes says, what is this griham? It is an andhakupam. It says, it's a andhakupam, it's a dark well. You fall into it, that is all. So you should be very careful. Ramakrishna says, when you are in a grihastha very often you should go to Bhagavata, you should read Bhagavata, you should go to satsanga. The example that he gives is, in the olden days kitchen, you spend much time in kitchen, the body will get dark. So you have to clean the body. Like that, when you are in grihastha very often you should have some process of cleaning yourself. Like doing japa, bhagavad dhyana, bhakti, it is all needed. So, by seeing this simple incident where the bird got caught by the hunter, the Avadhuta says, this is the destiny of the worldly people. If they are not careful, you can live in the world. Another example is given, the bird is sitting in a tree and somebody is cutting the tree. If the tree falls, the bird will not fall, it will fly away. Like that is a Jivan Mukta living in the world. He can live in the world. If something happens, he will not fall because he has two wings with which he will fly, Vairagya and Viveka. With these wings, he is not attached, he will just fly away. Like a bird sitting in a branch, he is sitting in his family. He is not attached to family, but whatever has to be done, he will do. Ramakrishna gives a very beautiful example. Such a person is like a servant in a very rich man's house. A maid servant or a man who is as a servant in a rich person's house for many years. He is serving there and he will have so much of connection with the family. Sometimes he will even advise the family man. He will tell him, you should come at right time from office. You are not eating properly. You are not listening to me. Like an elderly person, the servant will speak. But he or she, they know very well that when they ask me to go out, I have to go without taking anything. I am nobody here. So know this and live in the world. This is Nisangata. You live in the world, you become involved, but know that is why Gita says it is like water in a lotus leaf. Like that, Padmapatramivambhasa, Eta Pushkarapalashaha, Apo Nashlishyate. Like that, you live in the world without any attachment. then you will have peace, you will have mukti, you will have liberation. There were many saints in householders' life. Like Maharashtra, you can see all the saints in Maharashtra. Most of them were householders, like Tukaram, Namadev, Ekanath Maharaj. They were all Anubhutimans. They were all great devotees. They had God realization, and they were all family people also. Kabir, many. So they were all in the family, but they were always in Bhagavad Loka, in that world of the divine world. Their mind was always in that state. So have that. This is the advice. This you have and live in the world Nissanga. You get into it, it is very difficult to come. So have hold on Ishvara. That is why the simple way is train yourself to chant his Nama. Constantly chant his Nama. Whenever you get time, chant his Nama. Have some time every day for doing japa, and then go to the world. Know what is world. Don't have any imagination about worldly life. Whatever may happen, you don't get a shock. You know this is the nature of the world. Knowing this, live in the world. So this he understood from that simple life of the birds. So this is one. After that, the Avaduta started moving. We have to move with the Avaduta. Sukhamaindriyagam rajan swarge naragaye vacha dehinam yadyatha dukkam tasman necheta tadbutaha grasam sumrishtam virasam mahantam stokameva va yadrichayaiva patitam grased ajagaro kriyaha. When the sannyasi is moving about, sometimes he will not get food. He has to take bhiksha. Sometimes he will not get bhiksha. But it is Ishvara's dharma, Yogakshema Shakti. Somehow that food will be supplied. Even after some test you will get it. So here the Avaduta is looking at a python. A big snake was lying there. He was looking, it was not moving to catch some animal. It is lying there with its mouth open. And he thought, how will it get food? Suddenly one rabbit or something came there and it got its food. Seeing this, the Avaduta felt, oh, so arrangement is there. You need not bother about it. Bhartrhari says, one person caught hold of a snake and put it inside a wooden box and closed it. One day passed. Second day evening, one rat made a hole in the box and entered it. The snake ate that rat and came out. So this is that food arrangement is done by Ishvara. Once Swami Vivekananda was moving from one place to another. Many days he didn't have any food. So once he was going in a train, opposite to him, one Vyapari was, I think it was a Marwadi or somebody. He was sitting with him, constantly talking to him, very deriding way. Says, in a young age you have taken sannyas, all lazy fellows, all those things he was saying. And Swamiji kept quiet. He was simply in Maunam. He didn't reply. Then they got down in a station. There this person took from his bag his tiffin box. At least he should have that kind of dharma to give food to a sannyasi. He didn't do that. He said, see, I am eating because I am working very hard, so I get food, I am eating. If you lead such a lazy life, you will not get anything. Like that he was giving teaching, and suddenly they saw a person coming there with a bag searching for somebody. And when he saw Swamiji, Swamiji, I was searching for you, sit here. Swamiji said, no, I do not know you. No, Sri Ramji ne bola tha. Rama came to my dream and showed you. He revealed to me in dream that you will come to this station, and he asked me to prepare a special food for you. So I have brought that food, you should take. And this Marwadi was looking at the incident with a shock. And he made Swamiji sit there and gave the food. Then Swamiji told, what you said is true as far as a grihastha is concerned. But for a sannyasi, there is another dharma, that his yogakshema is being taken care by a higher power. Ishvara has the responsibility of taking care of a sannyasi's yogakshema. So this incident reveals that what here is said, that you need food, food will come to you. Sukham aindriyagam rajan. So grasam sumrishtam virasam mahantam stokam evacha. Yadrichayaiva apatitam. Whatever you get, yadricha. You should not ask only this food. Whatever food you get, eat it. That is the yati dharma. Shaitahani bhurini niraharo anupakramaha. Yati nopanamed graso mahahiriva dishtabuk. Like the mahahi, the great snake, big snake. But that kind of dharma is very rare. Ajagara vritti. Sometimes some great sages, they take that vow that we will not go and ask. If food comes, we will eat. Otherwise, will not. Sometimes for some period. There was one great saint, Pattanathar. He was a very rich person, very rich merchant. He had no children. So he was going to every Shiva temple and praying for a child. And one day he had a dream. He was called Tiruvangad Chettiar. That was the name he was called. So in his dream, Shiva appeared and told, tomorrow a Brahmin will come with a child. You give gold to that Brahmin equal to the weight of the child, because he was a very rich person, and receive that child. So this Tiruvangad Chettiar woke up from the dream. Next day exactly that happened. The Brahmin got a child from some garden. It was not his child. And in his dream also Shiva appeared and told him, take the child to this Tiruvangad Chettiar. Like that he brought the child. So this businessman was very deeply attached to that son, that boy, and the boy grew up. He was called Marudavanan. It's a Tamil name. It's Marudavanan. So he was very attached to the Marudavanan, and he was actually a pearl merchant. This Tiruvangad Chettiar was a pearl merchant, very rich. So they used to travel to other places, like perhaps some other Asiatic places also. They used to go in boat or in a ship. So when this Marudavanan was 15 or 16 years old, one day he told his father, I will go and do the business. He was very, very wise. So the father thought, let me test whether he can do the business. So this boy went with other business people and had good business, pearl business. But whatever money he got, he gave it away on his way for many good causes. Everywhere he did that charity, and all other business people, they said, this boy is very naive. He doesn't understand the knack of business. All money is lost now. And you know what he has brought? He bought so much of these cow dung cakes, fuel, and all sacks filled with this cow dung fuel. So this business people, here this Tiruvangada Chettiar was waiting for his son. After 6 months of travel, he was waiting with so much longing because he was deeply attached to this boy. So my son will come, my son will come, when will he come? He was dreaming, he was checking. In those days you cannot call. So he was waiting. So the first ship arrived, and all the business people, they came and told him that your son is a fool. Because he had good business, he got money, but he wasted all money in charity, and we don't know what happened to his intelligence. All sacks are filled with cow dung fuel. Nothing. And he felt very sad. I thought he is very wise, he is very clever, but now I see he is a dull-headed boy. He felt very sad. And when the son came, first he hugged him, then he said, what have you brought? He smiled and didn't reply. Then he opened every sack, he found only cow dung fuel, nothing. Then he became very angry. Because this professional ego is very strong. He is very attached to his son, but he became very angry. And that boy just laughed and went to his mother. Her name was Jnana Kala. He went to her. Then this Tiruvangada Chettiar, he took the cow dung cakes, searching for whether something is inside. Nothing was there. Only cow dung cakes. So he took them and threw it away. It broke, and from inside were all jewels. In between, one thing I forgot to tell. First news that he got was one ship went down in the sea. There was a shipwreck. So he was very anxious, in great stress. He was thinking that his son died there. So the pain was there. First he thought his son had good business. That was the news he got. Then he was happy. Then he heard that his son is doing so much charity, the money is all given. Then he became sad. Then he heard that his son is coming. Then he was happy. Then he heard that one ship sunk. Then he was sad. Then he came to know that it was not his ship. Then he was happy. Then his son came. Then he found that the business is all waste. Then he became sad. Then he took this cow dung cake. All these things, Pattanathar is singing. What all happened. So he threw it away and broke it, and from there so many diamonds came out. It is all hidden inside. Suddenly he became excited. Oh, my son is so wise. He has, whatever he has earned, he has brought it more wealthier. So he ran to see his son. And to his wife he inquired, where is Marudavanan? He said, he gave me a small box and went somewhere. Small box? What is there? He opened the box and found that there is a needle, and the needle is a broken needle. Only a broken needle. And there was a song. The song was, my dear father, even this broken needle you cannot take when you die. This was the song. Kadatra Usiyum Varadu Kan Kadaivalikke. The last day you cannot even take this broken needle with you. Suddenly, just he searched for his son here, there. He could not find, and he had a vision that his Ishtadevata, that Mahadeva has come in the form of his son to give him this Vairagya. He just threw away his clothes, everything, and started walking out of his house. And his wife cried, everybody cried. He didn't look back. He had a manager. He said, you have crores and crores, millions of rupees. What should I do? So much wealth. He said, throw it in the street. Whoever wants, let them take. He didn't bother even to write a will. He said, throw it in the street. Whoever wants, let them take. And just walked out, moved about as an avadhuta. And people heard about him. Suddenly they thought, oh, Pattanathu Swamigal, that is how he was called. Pattanathu Swami has become a Virakta now. Somebody said he is insane because he lost his son. The local chieftain, the king, he came to see him. Pattanathu Swami did not care. Only with a kaupina, he was sitting there with one leg above the other leg still. The king came and looked, and he was shocked because this person used to dress very well, very kingly, royal look he had. He used to come very often to palace to sell pearls. Now he is not even caring to respect the king. Then the king asked, what did you get by renouncing like this? By renouncing like this, what did you get? Ni nikka naan irukka. He said, see, the position has changed. I am sitting, you are standing. Otherwise, I will be standing before you because I want something from you. So I will be like a beggar standing before you. Now you are standing, I am sitting. This is the greatest thing that I got. So very beautiful, some incidents are also there. Pattanathu Swamigal was moving about taking bhiksha, and one day he was lying down on the paddy fields, the walking space, very little. So there he was lying with his hand as the pillow and lying there. Two women were walking. One lady was telling the other, see, Pattanathar is lying down there. What great renunciation. Such great renunciation he has that he is absolutely free, nothing. Then the other lady, she said, yes, renunciation is okay, but not that much. Because still he is wanting some support for his head. He is having only his hand, but that lady said he is supporting his head with his hand. Oh, Pattanathu Swami heard this. He said, oh, his Divine Mother is giving me the teaching. So he took the hand, removed the hand, and was lying down even without that support. They went to the pond, took the water, and both of them were returning. So the other lady told, see, now not even a support of the hand. That is okay, but still he is giving ear to what people are talking about him. So this Lokavasana, so that is there. So he said, oh, that is also a problem. So this, but he never moved away from that village till his mother died. He gave word to his mother. And when his mother died, they say that he sang a song by which the fire was lit to his mother. Munnamittati Muppurattile Pinnayittati Tennilangayil Annayittati Adivayattile Yanumittati Mulha Mulhave. This is the song. The first fire was lit in the Tripura, and the second fire in Lanka by Hanuman, and the third fire is the Kundalini in the body, and the fourth fire I am lighting, let it catch fire. That was the song. So this Patanatha Swami used to take bhiksha. And one day, he was in Samadhi, he woke up in the night and was walking for bhiksha. There was hunger in night, so he was walking for bhiksha. Suddenly he found one house, door was open. So he entered there. And night the door was open in that house because somebody found there is a thief. So the thief ran away. So people were searching for the thief. So they searched for the thief everywhere, and suddenly they found the Siddha standing inside the house. They started beating him. After this incident, they found he was not reacting. Then they found, oh, this is a Jivan Mukta, a Mahatma. They did namaskar, everything, but he didn't care. He said, from now onwards, I will not go to any house to beg food. If food comes to me, I will eat, otherwise nothing. So that is Ajagara-vritti. So this Avaduta learned this Ajagara-vritti from Ajagara means this python. From that he learned this Ajagara-vritti. Then 5 gurus. These 5, Shankaracharya is saying in Vivek Chudamani, Shabdadibih panchabireva pancha, panchatvamapuhu swagunena baddhaha, kuranga matanga patanga meena bhringa naraf panchabiranjita kim. These 5. He learnt from a deer that one should not get attached to too much to outer entertainment of music, especially film music. Gramya Gitam na Shrinuyad. This is the teaching. Gramya Gitam na Shrinuyad. This Gramya Gitam, any song that will invoke worldly thought in your mind, do not listen to that. How did he learn this? He learnt this from the deer. Because they will catch the deer from the forest by singing some song, making some music like that. So like that, this mind also get caught sometimes by entertainment. Now see, people in the road also, they have something in their ear and walking like Jivan Muktas. Whatever may happen, nothing. A few years back, when this kind of gadgets started coming, the old saint about whom I was speaking, he used to jocularly say that he was going in a train, a youngster was sitting opposite to him, and he was keeping this plug in his ear, this earphone. It's about almost 30 years back, so not this much of mobile or anything. So he said, I was thinking, oh, he's such a young age, yes, hearing problem, and he's having this. And after some time, he started doing like this. He said, what happened suddenly for him? And he started dancing, and he said, I got afraid and went up to the upper berth in the train. So, you become unconscious. See, the music also should be divine. That is the message. Sangita jnanamu bhakti vina sanmargamu galadevo manasa. As Tyagaraja Swami says, Sangita jnana should give you bhakti. Swara raga sudha rasa yuta bhakti. In one kirtana, Tyagaraja says, it is an anukula sadhana for bhakti. Swara raga sudha rasa yuta bhakti. With swara, raga, everything, it nourishes bhakti rasa. So it should be. Ramakrishna, Swami Brahmananda, they were all used to have musicians around them. But the music is all divine. It is for just elevating the mind. Swami Vivekananda was a very good singer. Whenever he used to sing, Ramakrishna used to enter samadhi. So the music should be offered to Bhagavan. It should elevate your mind. It should give you divine feeling. So it is all Bhagavad Bhakti Rasa. It is for Bhagavad Bhakti. But if the music gives you worldly thought, Kavijana Visheshaihi Bahukritam, as Bhartrhari says, this Kavijana, they write all worldly things through music and poetry and destroy, spoil the mind of people. Dirty things are written in the name of songs or poetry, and the person's mind gets polluted. So, thus the meditative mind will lose its poise and fall. So, I should not get caught by that. He learned this from the deer. The deer will get caught by that. So, that is Shabda. Kuranga. Then Matanga is elephant. Elephant gets caught by the female elephant. For the sake of touching the female elephant, it falls into the pit. Keeping a female elephant, the male elephant is trained. So, getting addicted to touch, the person falls. This he found with the female, the elephant. Matanga, then Patanga. This firefly, when it looks at the fire, it will come and fall in the fire. Like the firefly, you get addicted to seeing. Doshena tivro vishayaha Krishna sarpa vishadapi Visham nihanti bhoktaram drashtaram chakshushaapyayam. Visham will kill you only if you consume it. But this Vishaya, always like this. Formerly, they will keep betel leaf and do like that. Like that now also, in a different style. Very, very disciplined people. Always quiet, unconscious of the world. Wherever you look, it gives you full entertainment, and the eyes, through the eyes, poison is taken inside. As the firefly destroys itself, the person destroys himself through the eyes. Our new generation, we know it very well. What a powerful gadget. Satsanga is also happening. Formerly I used to only do criticism of this. Then later on I got some other inputs. One old lady told, you are criticizing this mobile. But for me this mobile is temple. From morning to night I am listening Bhagavatam, Gita, everything. Oh, if you can utilize it like that, that is very good. But constantly, people are finding it very difficult how to protect their children. It is very difficult. They are finding it very difficult. Formerly, it was only Shastras have not prescribed mobile. How to protect from, because ekanta has become meaningless now. Now, many Mahatmas, they are giving a new teaching to sadhakas. They say, never live in ekanta. Because if you live in solitude, you take this. Whether in Himalaya, whether in any cave, whether you go to Kailas, everywhere range is there. Maya's range is there. So, no place you can escape. Meditation room, you get caught. So, that is why they say, you live constantly in satsanga, live with great Mahatmas or some fellow devotees, never live in solitude, or don't have a mobile. Then the difficulty comes without mobile, no ID card, no train ticket, many problems. So, we have to fight with a new force, with a new power. Sadhana, we have to find some new sadhana for this. I think the best way is utilize it in a good way. Constantly through that listen to satsanga, through that listen to Bhagavatam. If possible, if you can utilize it like that, when you see the mobile, tears will come. Bhakti. Like Salagrama or Shivalinga, you see mobile, it's possible. Because it is a sadhana samagri for you. So that is the best way, no? You see mobile, you are every day you are listening Bhagavatam through that mobile. You look at the mobile, you feel it is a Bhagavata Grantha. It is after all a dead thing. It's an inert thing. Your mind is the chief problem. Mind is getting a tool through that. But you can transform it. You have to find a method by which you can transform the mobile or any other gadget and make it also a way for satsanga, to lift you, to give you divine experience. Then it is good. So that is why here there is a Gramya Gitam na Shrunuyat. So that is the Matanga, Patanga and firefly and Meena, eating food. The Matsya, it gets caught by the bait. By eating the bait, it gets caught. Like that, getting attached to tongue. How many things we have found? So many eatables. It is very, very complex eatable things. We don't know who found all these things. Making a jalebi, making gulab jam, rasagola. Who found these things? For what? Just put it here, goes here, it's all over. Ramakrishna said a very funny story. One disciple, few disciples were there with a guru. The guru told them, bring me something which is lower than you. So the disciples were searching. One person found some stone, he brought it. Another person brought some other thing which he thought is lower than him, he brought it. Everybody got something. One disciple, he didn't come. He was searching for something lower than him. Everything he found, it is higher than me. It is higher than me. At last he found his own visarjana, his own malam, fecal matter. It is certainly lower than me. So he decided to take it. So when he was about to touch it, it said, don't touch. He was shocked why it is talking. He said, don't touch. I was a jalebi offered to Bhagavan in the temple. Once you touched, this is my position. Now second time you touch, I don't know what will happen to me, don't touch. So this is the case. It passes through the body, it gets transformed to this stage. But with all that, we are attached to the tongue. Not for hunger. Hunger you can satisfy very easily. But for taste, so many things. So many complex things we do. And this get caught, the mind is no peace. So much. See, especially South India, elaborate cooking. The best sadhana is Swayampaka. Ramakrishna used to advise that for brahmacharis. He used to say, you should have Swayampaka. So that your cooking will be very simple. Whatever your body needs, you will cook. Don't eat from anyone else. Exception is given to mother. You can take from your own mother, especially for brahmacharis. Otherwise, you have to cook. Sannyasis are not generally, traditionally, scripturally permitted to cook. They have to take bhiksha from somebody. But in Rishikesh, many sadhus, they tell me, recently I had a conversation, some of them they told, if we start taking bhiksha, our sadhana will go. Because the bhiksha is all very, very unhealthy, all kind of sweets, oily stuff. Even Coca-Cola they give as bhiksha. So it's all very destructive. Spiritually, you cannot meditate after taking a good bandara. So many of them, they say, we will cook, have a small meals and the body is very healthy, we can meditate, do sadhana. So, Swayampaka is a very good help for sadhana. Wherever you don't eat in hotel, don't compromise in this. Because food is very important, you cook and offer it to Bhagavan and eat. Then your sadhana will be very effective. Such a simple help for sadhana, cook your food, offer it to Bhagavan as Nivedya and then eat, then it will be very, very soothing to meditate. Spiritually, it will be a great help. So this food from Matsya, from fish, he learned that person get addicted to his tongue and loses his spiritual balance. So Kuranga, Matanga, Patanga, Meena, Bringa. Bringa is this Brahmara. The bee, it gets caught in the flower because it is attached to nose, smell. And it enters the flower closes, it gets caught there. Like that, people get attached to smell. See, we are attached to smell, but we will not know that so easily. This attraction to smell is also their very strong bondage. So there also the person should be free. So all these creatures, they are attached to one of the senses. But a person who is attached to all the five senses, what to speak about him? This is what Shankaracharya exclaims. So this Kuranga Matanga Patanga Beena Bringa Naraf Panjabiranjita Kim. Now some more gurus are there. The Pingala, Kurara, Arbhaka, Sharakrit, Sarpa, Urnanabhi, Supeshakrit. These we will see tomorrow. The 24 gurus, Chaturvimshati Rashritaha. Very beautiful anecdotes are there regarding Pingala and this Kumari, etc. They are all very helpful to sadhana, for Adhyatma Vichara. Tomorrow we are concluding this great Bhagavata Ekadasha Skandha Anusandhana. So by Bhagavan Ramakrishna's grace, by Holy Mother's grace, by Swamiji's grace, by all the Ramakrishna Parshadas Kripa, we had this rare occasion of having this Bhagavata Saptaha. We can say Saptaha because 7 days. Sayanna Saptaha. Here, this very ashrama is a Thirtha Kshetra where so many great saints, Mahapurushas have lived, and sitting here and listening and contemplating on Bhagavatam itself is a great experience. We will have one more day tomorrow. So tomorrow we will see the same time. त्रैविष्टपरिपुवीरघ्नं क्षितिभारघ्नं भवरोगघ्नं कैवल्यं नवनीताहारमनाहारं भुवनाहारं वैमल्यस्फुटचेतो वृत्तिविशेषाभासमनाभासम् शैवं केवलशान्तं प्रणमत गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दम् यतो ममात्मा भवसि त्वमेव ततो न वाच्यं मम किञ्चिदस्ति यथा तवेष्टं कुरु मां तथैव त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भजामि। सर्वत्र गोविन्दनाम संकीर्तनं जानकीकान्तस्मरणं हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव।